By the time Steve Kroft visited him in 1999, the creator of Peanuts was earning an estimated $30 to $40 million a year. But to Charles Schulz, Charlie Brown and Company were more than big business. They were family.
How would you describe your relationship with your various characters?
I like them all. If I didn't like the characters, they would not exist. I'm not so sure that I would want to be around Lucy very often, but the other characters are decent kids. I think Charlie Brown would be a nice kid to have as a neighbor. He and I would really enjoy each other.
All of the characters are in some way outlets for different facets of Schulz's personality. Lucy vents his crabbiness.
Nobody should be kept from being queen if she wants to be one. It's undemocratic.
Linus is his spiritual side.
Sure, Charlie Brown. I can tell you what Christmas is all about.
And Snoopy fulfills his fantasies.
On his HBO special, which was taped in Washington, D.C., Rock hammered away at the black mayor of that city who went to jail for possession of crack cocaine.
Come on, man. How they gonna tell little kids to not get high when the mayor's on crack? Don't get high, it won't be nothing. I can be mayor.
For Rock, knowing what goes on in the streets is second nature. He grew up in Bedford-Stuyvesant, one of the tougher neighborhoods in Brooklyn. But his wasn't a ghetto existence. He didn't live in poverty, both parents worked. His block was clean, middle class, an oasis in the ghetto.
In September 1970, Mary Tyler Moore tossed her hat into the air and launched a whole new TV era.
She was a kind of inspiration to have some independence. Women in their 40s and 50s and who will say to me, "You're the reason I am a vice president today. I grew up watching you."
The cast and writers got the recognition, but they say the lion's share of the credit really belongs to Grant Tinker, president of MTM, the legendary independent production company behind many of the best shows of the 1970s and 80s.
I more worked with those people than they worked for me.
Modest to a fault, this is one power broker who hates to sing his own praises. Still, the facts speak for themselves. Within a decade of forming MTM with Mary Tyler Moore, then his wife, Tinker had turned the Tiffany's of TV, as it was known in the trade, into an industry force conservatively worth $300 million.
Please, all the men we sleep with fulfill a certain fantasy. Or a nightmare. You fantasize a man with a Park Avenue apartment and a nice big stock portfolio. For me, it's a fireman with a nice big hose.
We always hear men talking dirty about women, and it's not funny. But hearing women turning the tables is funny.
Funny, shocking, and utterly original, Sex and the City stripped away any remaining barriers to what can be said and shown on television.
And we would just talk about our experiences.
I've been dating since I was 15. I'm exhausted. Where is he?
Who, the White Knight?
He was very aware of what stories he wanted to tell, but also very open to the ideas that we would have as writers.
Honey, no offense, but your breath.
There was never a sense that he was the guy in the corner office. He was always the person who was sitting next to you at lunch talking about the crazy party you'd been to or the great thing that could happen to Carrie.
Jackie had a charity event at the course down in Florida, and Jackie challenged me to a $10,000 match for the charity. I said, "You're kidding, $10,000?
And Namath didn't just hang around with movie stars. His celebrity gave him the chance to become one.
How about a movie offer? You gonna make the movie?
Well, we talked to several people. We talked to 3 or 4 people. Well, there's some cute girls over there. I think.
Listen, they got to you easier than the Baltimore Colts did.
Well, I let them.
There's one sweet tradition along the planked promenade that survived through thick and thin. Saltwater taffy.
It's a product that's absolutely synonymous with Atlantic City and the Jersey Shore. It's the same as the beach and the boardwalk and all of the other traditions.
Welcome back to Watch Watch This, the hottest place to learn about the best 5 shows each week. Make time for this week's 5. Pay Cable has The Sopranos. Basic Cable has The Shield. For pure grit and gruff, no one comes close to Michael Chiklis.
You give us back the boy alive, and I won't burn your cash cow to the ground.
This show should be on our list every week because Chiklis is nothing short of genius in his role as Detective Vic Mackey.
Put me back on the street with the unis. Nobody knows the bangers better than I do.
This season, Glenn Close plays Mackey's new boss. For Glenn Close to do cable, you know it's gotta be good. The Shield on FX, Sunday nights at 11:10 Central.